Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing, ladies and gentlemen. It's another beautiful day in Arizona, sub 60 degrees, just before 10 a.m. Getting some early chores done. Heading off back towards the shop in a minute. Green Hood Smoke, how's it going, man? The chores done. Off back to the shop. Doing some more work on the 26th today, really trying to get it. And then December, we are starting to hopefully begin design work on the 43. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, another day, another nickel, you know, before taxes. Omar, how's it going, man? Yep, working on the 26th. We're also starting to prep for SHOT Show. We got that coming up in January. So we'll be doing SHOT Show. If everything goes right, we'll be in Las Vegas doing SHOT Show, I believe, alongside MMC Armory. Oh yeah, I got to give Uncle Sugar that penny. Not that they're making those anymore. I wonder how that's going to affect a lot of businesses' price tags. You know, we've kind of talked about that loosely. You know, instead of, you know, do we just go for an exact dollar amount, or is everything going to be 95, 90, 80, 85, you know, so on, instead of 99 cents? Is everything going to be rounded to the nearest nickel? G23, what's going on? Kind of, sort of. I just, you know, I would have expected them to change the composition again. A lot of countries created the composition of their lowest valued coins. So, for example, all of our pennies, you know, 1982, they used to be like 90, 95% copper. And then following that, they changed it to a mostly zinc with like 5% copper. And so you've got countries like Japan, who their, what is it, sen, yen, whichever. Anyway, their smallest denomination coin is made of aluminum. So this is something in the old world, when you used to look at coinage, for example, that you could tell how well economically a country was doing based on the composition of the coins. So if their coins were, you know, copper or bronze, maybe sometimes brass, silver and gold, then you knew they were doing great as a country. And you saw this primarily, like, for example, Germany. 1930s Germany, you know, they had silver coins. You could tell just by the sound of the coinage. And then near the end of the war, you could tell that they had changed it to a much cheaper metal for the rest of their coinage. And you can tell this with a lot of countries when they're going through financial crises, that the composition of their coins change. And this is nothing new. This goes all the way back to the Roman Empire. Probably even further. Everything to the nearest nickel. Moist Beans, what's going on, man? That was a huge marketing thing too. You know, you see something at $8.99, and people sit there and go, oh, yeah, it's just $8 and change. Mentally, that's kind of what they think. But you see $9.99, they go, yeah, it's just $9 and change. They don't see it as $9 and $10. Desert Armory, what's going on, man? So I wonder, are they just going to do it as like $8.95, or are they just going to go straight $9 even? Hopefully the 43, that should start design work in December if all goes well. We're really trying to finish up the final bits on the 26. But first or second week of December, I'm hoping we'll start design work, you know, drawing up plans and everything on the 43. What up, Zanti? Oh yeah, man, never drink water. Fish fucking it. And if you know what that's from, good for you. All this construction. Just constant construction. Nah, man, the three people you'll be talking to, you got Brian, you got me, I'm Robert, and you got Miss Stiffler. And both of us got beards. Mine's a bit thicker than his, but his a little longer. William, what's going on, man? Have a good one, Green Smoke. I just got done doing some chores over out near Houghton. And now I'm headed off back towards the shop. Gonna handle a couple more things, and then we'll go into the shop and continue working on the 26. Oh yeah, please double tap that screen. Those of you who've liked already, it's greatly appreciated. We're actually about to head near the airport. Oh yeah, should get a kick out of that, Zanti. There we go. No, not the airport. The Air Force graveyard out here. Near Davis Mountain. You guys might be able to see some of it. We'll try it on this end. Davidson Armory's probably passed through here a few times. So anywho, a lot of these planes, you guys probably heard about it before. A lot of these planes are just kind of mothballed. Occasionally you'll see people actually working on them. They'll be out here stripping off the old coatings, putting on the new coatings. I knew a guy who had a job out here actually doing that. I tried getting a job out here doing that once. And you got to know somebody who knows somebody. It is not easy to get a job working for them. But your whole job is just, you know, cleaning them, checking them, putting new coatings on them, making sure in case the country ever needs them again, they can be put back together and put into service. Let's see. Hey, thank you for the like. Oh, there they are. Some of them are on the right. Ah, damn, too many trees and bushes in the way. That's okay. We're passing by some here on the left. There we go. There's some of them. Nuclear bunker. Oh, I'm sure it does. We're passing near the Air Force Base, and every time I come near here, my streaming quality goes to shit. We'll see if we can show you guys some planes. Just rows and rows of them. Yeah, anytime you're near larger military installations, your cell signal is always crap. Yep, just rows and rows and rows of old decommissioned planes that are constantly being worked on, and you'll catch the guys out here in the early mornings stripping off old coatings, putting on new coatings. Keeping the planes ready to be picked up again someday. There we go, that's the end of them though. Oh, okay, I was wondering what that freaking noise was. It's the truck next to me. There's something dangling from their vehicle. But yeah, this week, still working on 26. First week or two in December. That is the tentative plan to start working on design features for the 43. Truck nuts. And yeah, SHOT Show, January 2026. And this week, Thanksgiving, that is when our Black Friday sale starts, is on Thanksgiving. And that'll go through till Cyber Monday. So if you know somebody who wants a black strip slide, send them our way. They'll be 20% off. Big old truck nuts. Sometime in the future, maybe Moist Beans, sometime in the future. We are tentatively looking at doing Cerakote locally. We've got to explore that and basically just figure out what our prices are going to be, because our guys are so busy, you know, doing the few hundred slides a week that we do. Can we incorporate people's individual slides on top of that? Not to mention, how do we deal with shipping and logistics for it? And inevitably, how do we deal with customer complaints about it? Because we've already talked to other people who do Cerakote work, and basically they've all had the same story. Yeah, you know, we sand down the person's slide, we sand down their barrel, we sand whatever they happen to be working on them for. They Cerakote it, they cure it, and then they go, oh yeah, it didn't turn out quite like how I want it. I want you to restore it how it was. Well, once you do all that work to it, oh, that is a cool truck. You can no longer restore it to what it was. We don't have the capability. If you were to hand us like an OEM Glock slide and say, hey man, can you Cerakote this red? And then you said you didn't like it, we can't restore it once we've done that. It's done. So we've got to figure that out, because we don't have any other coating that we do in shop. All we do is Cerakote. And Cerakote, in order to bond to a surface, it needs to be a sanded surface. You have to have a rough texture for it to grip to. And some of people in here on these lives have actually told us that they have gotten slides Cerakoted where they sprayed onto a smooth surface, and they had problems with the Cerakote chipping or cracking and wearing off. And yeah, it's because it's supposed to be bonded to a rough surface. If you put it on a smooth surface, it's not going to last. Yeah, we've learned a lot of lessons in shipping and how we do our warranty and customer service just from the absolute worst people that you want to deal with. And nobody wants to deal with, you know, those kind of people as customers or just in general, right? But they've taught us a lot of lessons, silver lining, you know. They've taught us a lot of lessons on how we react to things and how we handle things for our customers that have made us better at it. And that's the good thing. The bad thing is, yes, it cost us money. And, you know, when you're a small business, every amount of money that it costs you freaking hurts. So there's always some douchebag. Like there's guys I know that do aftermarket work, sanding and polishing and whatever. And they will not do any work for people in Chicago because they've had too many scammers from Chicago doing chargebacks, claiming they never got their item in the postal service, so on and so forth. And so they just don't do business with that city and a few others. There's a few other cities they will not do business with because there's too many people there that try to scam. Let's see, what did I miss? Tenifer finish? Maybe. I don't recall trying it yet, so we'd have to see. Painted my slides lettering with acrylic paint and put in the oven to make it cure. Stick to a tender finish. Okay. Yeah, people suck, and there's people like that everywhere. And they think, oh, you can just claim it on insurance. Oh, you can. No, small businesses don't work that way. God, and I think people forget what insurance actually is. If you claimed everything on insurance, you do know your rates go up, right? Like, it's the same thing with car insurance. You start claiming stuff, all of a sudden your rates go up. So people can't afford, especially smaller businesses. Large businesses, for example, a lot of them don't claim losses so that their rates don't go up. They just calculate that, yep, we expect to lose this much in theft, or we expect to lose this much because of damage, and it's just part of their yearly cost of doing business. Kind of the same thing with us. We expect to break tools, we expect to scrap out steel. You know, there is a reasonable expectation, a number, that so long as it doesn't go over a certain amount, you're going to be okay. Well, bigger businesses have that too. X number of dollars can be lost in damage or theft before they have to do something about it. Because it's just, you know, the accepted cost of doing business. You know someone's going to do something. Taurus G3C with gold logos. Oh, right on. Yeah, it's just everyone has that kind of, especially on small, you're like, oh, you have a business? That means you can afford everything. No, God, no. So many small businesses are like a hair away from just like going under. If they don't get payments on time, if their regular orders don't get shipped properly. And we've had issues with that before too. Probably a big one was we got sent the wrong steel. And the steel was too ferrous, too hard. We had annealed bars, so they're hard on the outside, gummy on the inside, and it's just eating up our end mills. And so we lost so much money on end mills, and we got this, you know, we got it handled. They sent us the correct steel. Yeah, they basically got boxes mixed up, and they sent us the wrong bars with the correct labeling. And so, of course, you don't know if they look like the correct bars until you start cutting them. And so our order of like freaking 300 slides got delayed because of that issue, because they had to come and collect the bars and send us the new bars, and we were still out the money on all those end mills that broke, and all the time we had wasted too. I mean, employees still got to get paid. They don't not get paid just because, you know, things like that happen. They all think everybody's Walmart and Amazon. Man, thank you guys for the likes. Greatly appreciate it. Same thing on shipping. Oh my God, Amazon has ruined everybody on shipping. We don't have a Stiffler warehouse in every major city. And people are like, hey, I thought I was going to get my slide. Like, yeah, we had one. This is my favorite. We shipped out a slide the very next day. The very next day. And the guy said we didn't ship it fast enough and made a complaint on our eBay page. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We shipped it out the very next day. Like, dude, I'm sorry I don't have Amazon drones just flying everywhere, dropping shit off. God. The very next day. But, you know, it's a world that we live in of instant gratification. People want now, now, now. The failure of missing out, both of those things, instant gratification and FOMO, have definitely hurt a lot of markets and ruined a lot of expectations. How did you guys come up with making slides? Were you an engineer before that? No, we do have engineers in the family, and machinists and carpenters, and, you know, all kinds of laboring jobs. And family history of it too. You know, grandfather's an architect who's worked with machining. The other grandfather's a machinist. Father's a machinist. Carpenter, construction worker, plumbing, basic electrical, all that stuff. And so we learned some of that too. But we got into it. A family friend at the time, along with some other people, convinced us, hey, put in on this and we'll start a business. And yeah, we did that, and things didn't work out as well as we'd like, and so we ended up moving the business to our home state and just kept going with it and making slides and just kind of learning as we go. And of course we like guns. You know, Brian and I are both Army vets, 16 years of service between the both of us. And then of course we had an employee Marine vet, and, you know, we had a Navy volunteer for a little while. And all of us into guns. Someone else helping with the business was prior law enforcement, also into guns, into shooting. We've done, you know, marksmanship training courses, range safeties, instructor course, you know, teaching other people how to shoot, and competitions too. I did like an NRA one years ago, and then did some with the Army. So we just like guns, definitely into guns. And then it kind of just fell into it of making slides. Hey, Pro Folk, that's funny. Oh, Professor Oak. Ha! Pokemon logo. Awesome. We make the Pew Pew slides. More Pal World than Pokemon. Christopher Lewis, what's going on, man? 41 Mr. Pibbs a day. Dude, we actually load up the shop fridge with NOS and Monster and water and carbonated water and soda. For like, and employees can just drink whatever. And we just, you know, go load up again. Occasionally we do employee cookouts too. You know, go grill some meat, veggies, hang out at the pool. Everyone gets a day off. Good times. And I hope everyone is drinking water. Got to stay hydrated. Can't move and groove if you're not hydrated. Even in this nice, cool weather, you got to drink water. Sweeping for 42 hours. Occasionally there's some Red Bull in there. Even got a little snack cabinet. Got a Keurig, microwave, all that. People can make food while they're there. Oh, we're not looking for an employee yet. Maybe if we get another machine. But yeah, you got to be in Tucson. And you got to have your own car. Or at the very least, figure out how to get to and from the shop. Well, I don't know. We might move shops at some point. We'll see. Get something bigger. More machines. I mean, the more machines we have, the more we can do. But, of course, downside is the more machines we have, the more payments we have, right? Same as any other business investing in new equipment. So, people got to be buying enough for us to warrant buying another machine. We knew a few machine shops that did that. They put down on multiple machines so they could have the contracts for certain businesses, certain distributors. And then they stopped ordering large amounts like they were, and a lot of those machine shops went under because they grew based on what distributors and vendors told them and promised them that they were going to order and do, and then they stopped ordering. And so stuff like that's, you know, everything's a gamble. Everything's a gamble. Found a night match this weekend. Oh, heck yeah. Right on, FE Ordnance. Welcome. That'd be an insane commute. Oh, yeah. Same thing almost happened to, well, it did happen to us. Company ordered 200 or more slides. I'll say 200. Easy numbers. So we go and buy all the steel. We mill everything out. So we get the end mills. We clean, deburr, sand them, Cerakote them. So all of that we had to pay for, plus just, you know, time and labor. And we complete the order, and then they say, yeah, no, we're not interested. And so, of course, that was before we've changed some business practices, so at least we can get some compensation if we get screwed over like that in the future. But at the time, we didn't. You know, it was a very, you know, agreement type business, like gentleman's agreement when we first started. And so now we've learned to protect ourselves a bit. And they didn't want the 200 anymore. They said they'd revisit it later. And we're like, well, we already wasted all the steel, all the end mills, all the Cerakote, the labor. And like, so, okay, so you guys can either buy what you ordered, or we're going to have to go put it on our eBay and on our website and sell them off to other people. And this was supposed to be a, you know, somewhat exclusive slide for this one vendor. And, you know, because they were going to order that 200 plus like 100 every month, and, you know, so on. And, you know, that fell through. So then it became one of our, you know, fastest selling slides, one of our most popular slides, the Viper. So that kind of just worked out in our favor. But for a lot of businesses, stuff like that, it's not worked out in their favor, and they took the hit. Right on, man. Oh yeah, night shifts freaking suck. We do a lot of night shifts in the winter, or in the summer, because of how hot it is. The machines don't like to run as well in, you know, 110, 120 degree weather. Cerakote doesn't like to spray as well, you know, because Cerakote starts curing at those temperatures. So it doesn't like to spray. The AC is running like crazy. So we do a lot of night and early morning shifts in the summer. Downside to the climate, you know. And we know a few shops in California and in New Mexico, Texas, same way. They have the same issues. The machines just, you know, they weren't designed to run at those sustained heats for that long. Oh, right on. Have a good one, Moist Beans. It's kind of like vehicles. You know, none of them were designed for this desert heat to run at these temperatures that long. So a lot of things break down a lot faster than they should. I'm kind of the opposite. I hate too much cold. The heat sucks, you know, when it gets that high. But I'm not a fan of snow, and I'm not a fan of extreme cold. If I could find some place where it's like 75 to 85 year round, that'd be kind of cool. Without a shit ton of humidity. Oh yeah, screw that. It snows in northern Arizona, but it's nowhere near as bad as back east. So if we want to go see the snow, we'll just go up to northern Arizona for a little while. hell is that guy doing? Always driving, you're always seeing people do really weird stuff. 77's good. Yeah, those places have a ton of volcanoes, earthquakes. There's always issues. I mean, as hot as it gets here, we don't have earthquakes. We don't have tornadoes, really. Every now and then we get like a class 0, class 1 tornado, once in a rare while, or it's just a really bad dust storm. But like nobody dies, and like the property damage is freaking minimal. Most people here don't have yards for grass. You know, they'll be like gravel or concrete or, you know, cactus. A lot of people don't have grass here in their yards. And if you do, the grass, you know, it's a pain in the ass to water it to keep it good. Mow the dust. You can water it. Yeah, I'm driving by one right now. Guy's whole front yard is rocks and dirt. This one out here is all pebbles. This guy's got trees, but it's dirt around the trees. Passing by a cemetery, they have grass, but the grass is, you know, lots of patchy yellow. It's just, it's really expensive to keep grass frickin' watered here. As you can imagine, you know, water is scarce in the desert. But we get a lot of our excess water from Colorado. Oh yeah, mosquitoes suck. I'll give that to the cold. Mosquitoes don't go there. Snow and frozen dog hurts. Yeah, just not a huge fan of the snow. Now we're in the 50s now, and it's just nice jacket weather. Getting stuck at every red light. Depends on the part of Texas. That little spot next to Oklahoma gets hit pretty hard. Coming up on the spot. Fort Hood area. Oh man, you're near, what is it, Killeen? You poor bastard. I was at Fort Hood for a bit. No, just red lights. I'm hitting red light after red light. Wow, that sucks. I think we're looking at, anywhere from 40s to 70s across Thanksgiving weekend. It's going to be nice. Had a little bit of rain come in. $32 to $20. Ah, see, no. Too cold. Way too cold. See, that's going to become really popular. Some Italian ice place just opened up over here. Give it a few more months when it gets warmer again. Oh yeah, that's going to be popular. No, sir, you are not getting in front of me. I'm in the correct lane. You move over like everybody else. Wear a onesie. I mean, yeah, upside to that is you can always layer up, layer down. All right, that is about where we're going to end it. I'm coming up on my location, so if you guys got final questions, go ahead. But then I'm going to go and get some more work done before I head into the shop. And I appreciate all the likes. Thank you so much. South Dakota, what are you doing, buddy? We get what we call snowbirds down here. People come back from the East Coast up north during the winter because it's too cold where they're at, so they come to Arizona, Mexico, Texas, California, Nevada, where it's a lot warmer, and they'll hang out here for the winter before heading back home. Even though they do it every year, it's the same people every year, they forget how to drive in Arizona. Every year. They'll drive 10 miles under the speed limit. They won't use their turn signals. They'll do crazy turns. Makes no sense. Ooh, sandy patch. Right on. All right, everybody, thank you so much for popping in on Stiffler's Manufacturing. We make gun slides, Glock 19, Glock 17, almost done with the 26. Starting work on the 43 this December. We have our Black Friday sale coming up Thanksgiving Day to Cyber Monday. There'll be 20% off our stripped graphite black slides for the 19 and the 17. All stripped black slides, 20% off. So we'll be doing that. We're hitting SHOT Show coming January. So if you guys are attending SHOT Show or you know people going to SHOT Show, keep an eye out for that. And as always, stay 2A every day.